Oh man.
January 20th, 2024.
I'm gonna I'm gonna put it up on the wall back here.
Almost ruined my engagement, man.
Sheesh. Hey. Hey, but it didn't. She's still around. That's why she's a keeper,
Well, no, I just meant financially.
huh?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode here on Locked Door MMA. We're your hosts. I'm Brevin. This is my good buddy, JP. And in today's episode, we will be going over every single fight and giving our predictions for UFC Fight Night, De Ridder versus Allen in Vancouver, Canada. We're super stoked for this one. But before we do, we just want to give a quick shout out to you guys as our current viewers, our current subscribers. If you're a part of the Locked Door MMA community, we appreciate you guys. As always, thank you. And if this is your first time checking out the channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button, like the video, leave a comment with who you got winning this weekend's fights. JP, last weekend was kind of all over the place. It was up and down, but I thought it was a pretty good card. And we also hit Charles Oliveira in the main event out in Brazil. The crowd was going nuts. It was a great way to cap off a pretty good card. What were some of your takeaways?
Yeah. Charles. I mean, I'm very interested to know what the hang up was with him not wanting to take Gamrot. Maybe it was
easy. I told you in the breakdown. That's an easy fight. I'm going to ragdoll him. I'm going to get on his back. I'm going to outstrike him. I'm going to do everything right, and then I'm going to choke him out. That's why I wouldn't want to fight him if I'm Charles. Give me someone better.
Yeah, which it probably was like him saying, I don't think he's worthy of this spot type thing. But yeah, I mean, Oliveira just proves that you can attack off your back jiu-jitsu wise without just fucking laying there the whole goddamn time.
No one does it quite like Charles, though.
Yeah.
I mean, the throwing up the Google Platas and the Uma Platas, like that literally changed Gamrot's whole approach to the fight, which gave Charles the advantage. And then coming out in round two, Charles was initiate the wrestling. He was picking Gamrot up, dropping him on his head, so that was impressive to me. And yeah, it's like Gamrot was very confident in his ground game. Hey, I'm not afraid of Charles Oliveira's guard. Think again, because Oliveira came out like a bat out of hell and proved to everyone why he's so dangerous, especially on the ground.
I mean, yeah. And we that's what we were saying. Like, the chain wrestling's good, yes. That's not the type of wrestling you need to beat Charles. Like, Charles will scramble with you. He does not give a shit. But props to Gamrot. I mean, he did sit in there. It was never under the chin. It was right on the bottom jaw. That shit probably sucked. And he hung in there for a little bit. Props to him. I mean, just going quick down the card, Oliveira should be cut. You miss weight by 8 pounds and then lose. See ya. You should be cut. Stuart Nichols sucks. Whatever. What'd you think of Pina going to bed? Oh my goodness.
Yeah. You can't say I didn't see that one coming. He's kind of been chinny throughout his career, and Petrino hits like a truck. I was a little disappointed, though, in Vitor getting gassed, looking gassed, stand there with his hands on his hips. Like, dude, you're in such great condition and great shape. Like, you got a six-pack as a heavyweight, but you're sitting in the middle of the octagon gassed. You should be putting on a pace on these guys because ultimately, JP, with the size disadvantage that he's going to be at when you start working your way up this division, that's something he's got to have going for him is cardio, pace, like tiring out these bigger human beings. But being 6'2" and being so ripped and in shape to be the one that's gassed, I don't think that's a good look, but good win, I guess. And he wrestled well. Thomas Pearson, great wrestler. Petrino was holding his own, even looking for his own takedowns, finding some. It was impressive, but I'm telling you, as he moves up, some of these guys get very dangerous very fast, and you cannot be gassed sitting in the cage with some of these hard hitters that will put you to bed. So he's got some stuff to work on for sure.
Yeah, and I kind of felt like it was I don't know if that was his game plan or not, but I'm like, bro, Peterson can also kind of wrestle. For a heavyweight, you're very fast. You got a lot of power, obviously. If I'm Petrino, I would just stand with him and see how that goes, and then maybe second round or whatever. If we have to grapple, then go that route. But whatever. Denise sucks. Don't know why we didn't pick Pinto. Pinto, we like him too. Whatever. I mean, we thought Denise would be a kickboxer. Pinto showed us MMA. Hell yeah. Good win by Pinto. Joel Alvarez didn't get his finish. Is what it is.
Dominant, though.
Yeah.
I mean, a 10-8 second round, very dominant performance for him. Like, people hating, booing, whatever. Like, clearly you didn't watch the fight. From start to finish, Joel Alvarez was in control. And then getting a 10-8 on all three judges' scorecards. Like, what else do you want? Vicente Luque, very dangerous fighter. I don't mind Joel Alvarez just kind of coasting to a decision there when he's dominating that much.
True. And like, people are mad at the ref. Whatever is what it is. Still beat his ass. Montel Jackson has 8 inches of reach and doesn't want to throw a fucking punch. Excuse my French. I just don't know what we're doing. I really don't. That's like the Chiefs playing football and they're just not letting Patrick Mahomes throw the ball. It just makes absolutely zero sense to me. And then the whole reason we had to scramble for a new lock, which we'll get to that. We're doing something with the lock. Usman is juicing, and Walter Walker and him didn't fight.
Who would have thunk it? I mean, look at the guy. We were saying that from the moment Usman walked into the octagon, his first time in the UFC. Like, dude looks like he's on roids. Funny. But, AP, for as much crap as you've been giving the new organization that oversees the steroids that took over from USADA,
True.
they've been catching people as of late, and there's been some steroid usage, and they've been finding that out.
Yeah, I just think that is. I mean, if you guys have heard my John Jones take, then you know I think that is the biggest crock of crap taking steroids. But whatever, not a bad card. Entertaining. Charlie O is back. Him and Max Holloway for the BMF. Sign me up.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Absolutely.
All right, let's dive into this weekend's card, though. In Canada, we got a lot of Canadian fighters. I don't know if it was Canada or one of the other countries. I think it was Canada that, like, all 7 of the Canadian fighters that one night lost. It was just a
like 2 years ago.
Terrible showing. Yeah, a long while ago, but they were just pissed off because all their fighters were losing. It was kind of funny. I don't think that'll be the case on this card, given the fact that there's so many Canadians. Like, they have a lot of opportunities, but we'll see. Starting, JP, with Melissa Croden taking on Tainara Lisboa.
All right, I know how much crap I give women's MMA. All right, I understand. But that's only when it's low level, man. And when it's trash. Like when it's what's her name? I'm forgetting her name. Anyways, when it's low level and it's trash. Like Shauna Bannon and Pooja Tomar. I mean, do you want liquid shit or do you want constipation? You get what I'm saying? Why do I even have to pick one of those? This fight, I actually really kind of like. Okay, Lisboa, a Muay Thai girl. She was off for like 2 years. Came back and fought what's that girl? Haven or whatever her name is. She's the girl that fights on this card too. Oliveira won that fight. And then she was off for 2 years. Fought Luana Santos. Luana subbed her, which has kind of been her MO to get beat. Because she's a striker. She's a Muay Thai girl. The girl across from her is making her UFC debut. Similar type of fighter, right? She's a striker. She's a Muay Thai girl. She's good in the clinch. If she's able to tie you up in the clinch, she will throw 6, 7 knees if you're not pummeling underhooks, trying to get her out of that tight clinch. Anything. I like her stand-up. Her punches are very straight, very quick. She doesn't move her head great, which fighting Lisboa might get her in trouble because Lisboa can strike as well. But I think this could be a good fight. I think this fight goes 2 ways. It's either boring as shit because they're in the clinch just pummeling each other the whole time, or I think these girls are going to get after it, and I think there's a good chance it will be entertaining. Close lines. Me and Brevin talked about this one for a little bit. It's a close fight. I think it's going to be a good fight, but we're going to go with Croden. All right. She's bigger. We like her strength, and we just think when it comes down to it, she has a little bit of better grappling. She's got good trips from the clinch, and when she gets on top, Her ground and pound is disgusting. She'll drop elbows, hammer fist. She will not stop. This girl comes to fight. We'll see how Lisboa looks, but we like Croden. We like what she has to offer. Dog money, baby.
Yeah, starting the card off with dog money, and JP said it. Like, if this fight ends up in the clinch like we think it may, I think Cronin's got the advantage there. Look for her to find those trips. Look for her to land elbows, big shots. She is tall. She is long for this division. And inside of the clinch, you can generate a lot of power, with those elbows and short uppercuts from being so much bigger than your opponent. We think Cronin's going to get it done.
Yeah, she's big, man. And she's Canadian. Can they start the card off right? I think they do. All right. Next one. This one will be very interesting. And I get to go first by saying his name. We don't get to hear Brevin's pronunciation first. Azamat Bekoev returns against Yusri Belgaroui. Close enough?
All right, guys, start giving JP some crap in the comment section. Like, come on, what was that? I mean, he clearly doesn't practice, and I'm out here getting hazed every single week. So I'm sitting on Rosetta Stone, learning my Portuguese, learning my Italian, everything else that I need to be successful, so that you guys stop making fun of me and telling me to travel to different countries and do other things. Not great, just because of names, but let's hear it. Let's hear it for JP's piss poor pronunciation of Yuristri Bulgari. Azamat, I do think is going to come out like a bat out of hell. He's had a lot of success as of late inside the UFC. You know, JP, looking back at some of his fights in the LFA, he was 4-0. He was the champion. I just wasn't impressed with his volume. I thought he was a lot more dominant than what he showed, and he really let a lot of fights kind of go long when they really didn't need to. Good thing he's changed that around. He came into the UFC. He's got 2 wins, both of them via finish. He does have a lot of power, and I think that he's going to show you that on Saturday. Belgaroui in his own right is a good kickboxer. He's fought Israel Adesanya. He has a win over Alex Poatan Pereira. Like, that is impressive. However, that was in kickboxing. Big gloves changes the power dynamic of some of these guys, and we've seen that because not too long ago, I think it was on Contender Series, he got knocked out by Marco Tulio, right? And so, like, that kind of just goes to show, hey, you can stay in the kickboxing ring with Alex Pereira for all the rounds. You can find a win and all this great stuff, but then you're in the octagon with the smaller gloves against Marco Tulio. You're getting beat. He didn't get knocked out in that one. It was a little bit earlier on. But you get what I'm saying. Like, the danger is a little bit more present, and you can't just point fight. And in this one, I expect Bekoev to really push the pace and land a few takedowns. We've never really seen Yusri on his back. Usually, kickboxers don't necessarily have an answer. And if he does end up on his back, look for Bekoev to land hard. Round and pound. We saw that against Zachary Reese in that fight, ending up in a KO victory. We're picking Azamat Bekoev, and from a betting perspective, look for the KO, and honestly, you can just pick that as your winning method. I think if Yusri wins, he utilizes this kickboxing and catches Azamat with something. But the more likely outcome, in my opinion, is Azamat by KO. I even think he could potentially get it done in the first round. Probably getting pretty good money on that one. But if you just like the KO prop in general, not a bad bet.
Yeah, and we saw Azamat versus Loader last time. You know, and you guys know how much Brevin liked Loader. Loader's a great wrestler who can mix it up decently well. Azamat ran through him, which was nuts to see. And then we tell you guys all the time. I mean, everybody knows this. These kickboxers that come over, you saw it in the first Pereira Ankalaev fight. I don't care that Pereira was hurt. I don't care Ankalaev was hurt this time. It's a fight game. If you have 8-week fight camps, you're gonna be hurt. Like, it just comes with the territory. Everybody has a story for every fight. I get it. But again, when you're striking with somebody who is also decent on the feet, but they can grapple, it makes you kind of more hesitant. Because if you're not, and then you overextend on a shot, you get put on your back right away. That shit blows. This guy is 6'5", right? He is huge. He's going to be 5 inches taller. I understand it's harder to take down tall guys. Bekoev won't just shoot like some of these guys and then you kind of stuff it and then they just give up and circle back out. Bekoev will chase it. we'll see if he can get him down. But yeah, I agree with Brevin. I think this USRI guy kind of uses that length to his advantage and never really works anything off his back because he hasn't really been there much. So I think you have to pick Bekoev. If USRI goes out there and starches him, that's cool. That's great. We got a contender now, but Bekoev is by far the more well-rounded guy.
Could you imagine if Belgaroui just went on an absolute tear and then all of a sudden he's facing Pereira for the light heavyweight belt and he's like, "Yeah, I'm your arch nemesis," because Pereira did that to Izzy,
Yeah.
came over to UFC, chased him down, took the belt from him. Imagine Yusri Belgaroui, coming into the UFC chasing down Poatan Pereira and getting another victory over him. It would be crazy. I just don't necessarily see it happening. All right, moving up, we have Stephanie Luciano taking on Ravina Oliveira.
Do they? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he trains with Alex now. Yeah, he does. For MMA, that's hilarious, bro. Him and who's that other guy that Alex fought in kickboxing and now he's in the UFC and he trains with him? Something Almeida.
I can't recall his name. Yeah, I can't recall his name.
Yeah, that's hilarious. That is hilarious. Everybody but Izzy, bro. They just don't like Izzy, dude. All right. This one. Havana Oliveira was the other girl I was talking about with Lisboa, right? I told you guys I liked the women's fight earlier. Not so much this one, okay? This one, not so much. It's okay. This Havana girl, she's decent at everything, right? She's like your generic creative fighter. Like you just don't add any attributes to it and you just start. This is the generic setup that they give you. She can grapple a tiny bit if you don't know anything. She can strike a little bit. She's got a decent jab. She works behind. Luciano to me is far and away the more impressive girl in this one. I like her striking. She's tough. Her grappling defense to me, I think, is enough to keep Havana off of her. She fought Alencar twice. The first time she got taken down, sure, and then the third round beat the shit out of her. And then the second fight kept range, granted all the takedowns. Granted, Alencar is very small, I understand that, but and she got beat by Sam Hughes recently. If you guys follow the channel, you will know what I say about Sam Hughes. I think it's time I give Sam Hughes her respect. Okay? She has clearly proven me wrong multiple times. Do I think she's a good fighter? No, I still don't, but she's decent enough to beat these girls that are just abysmal and extremely low level. Sam Hughes is actually tough and can get those girls out of here. I don't think Havana does that. I think Luciano tees off on her. I think Luciano could maybe finish her. We'll see, but yeah, give us Stephanie.
Yeah, 1,000%. And you brought up a great point that Luciano has been privileged to face top level wrestlers and grapplers such as Alan Carr and Sam Hughes, who put the wrestling to test as well. Didn't necessarily go her way that night, but it was a split decision. She fought very well, and I do think Sam Hughes is much better than Ravina Oliveira. Oliveira's wrestling is nothing impressive. She will look to take you down, but mostly that comes from trips inside the clinch and just kind of laying on you. I don't think that Luciano is going to allow her to do that. She's going to be a much taller, longer fighter as well, and the striking is much more impressive. I think she's going to be able to get it done. Uh, Very, very excited to see Luciano on Saturday. All right. Moving up, we've got Kyle Prepolec and Drew Dober. JP, I will take this one. Drew Dober coming into this one as a heavy, heavy favorite. That's because Prepolec is 0-3 inside the UFC. Not the greatest start to his career, but he is a Canadian fighter. Can he get something going this weekend? We don't think so. Coming off of a short notice loss to Benoit Saint Denis, wasn't really close. I mean, he scrambled decently. Um, it's just not impressive. You can scramble, you can be a tough guy, you can be there for the killing, and that's what I felt like he was. He was the lamb just out there, sent out there to be slaughtered from BSD. But now he's facing Drew Dober, who we all know has a brick forehead. We've talked about his toughness. We've talked about his ability to not get finished very easily, but Last time out, he did get knocked out in the first round. Not the greatest look. Manuel Torres, however, is a really good striker. And the one before that, Jean Silva, we all know how we feel about him. Kyle Prepolec is neither one of those two guys, nor does he possess the striking capabilities to do what they have done. However, he does have a lot of KOs on his record, JP, but it is coming against much lesser opponents. Drew Dober does have the better UFC experience. He's fought 24 times inside the UFC. He's got 14 wins. Prepolec, no wins. We're gonna side with the guy that has shown he can win inside the UFC, Drew Dober.
I mean, and this is one of the fights where it's just for the show's sake. We're just picking it, see if we can get it right for the perfect card type thing. There will be no action on this whatsoever. Drew Dober at -470 does not interest me in the least bit. Prepolec just sucks. He sucks, man. His striking looks awful. It's not Stuart Nickel level. It's close, though. It is damn close. Nickel's fucking horrible. Anyways, yeah, Prepolec just, I don't know. Would it be impossible, or would I be completely shocked if Dober gets into a firefight with him and Prepolec clips him and puts him out? No. Prepolec, like Brevin said, does have 10 KOs, and Dober does get in a firefight. That's what he does, but he just sucks, and he's so slow, man. We're not picking. Screw that.
Yeah, I mean, Prepolec lost to old hubby Austin Hubbard back before Hubbard was cut from the UFC. Not a good look. Not a good look whatsoever. You just hate to see it, from some of these guys. And the other thing too is, how do they keep getting more chances? I think this is one of those like returns of the favors for stepping in against BSD on short notice.
I think
Here's
so.
another fight for you, bud.
Yeah.
Let's see what you can do.
Try and be nice.
All right. Yeah, a little bit of a nice gesture there from Uncle Dana. Moving up. Danny Barlow is moving up to 185 to take on the Jourdain Santos.
This one's interesting. This one's very interesting. Danny Barlow. All right, one of those guys who incredible speed, right? Not incredible, but good footwork. All the intangibles, he's long. He just can't, I don't know. Something about it. He just has to try and look pretty or some shit. I just don't get it. I really don't. It's the same thing with Roofy. It's the same thing with these guys who, with Jusang Yu, I don't even know if that's his name, Yu or whoever, Zombie Jr. who just fought. You guys add too much. You try and reinvent the wheel when we don't need to. You're super fast. Just strike like normal and keep your fucking chin down. And Danny Barlow would prefer to use his speed to throw like a chopping left hand. And he's broken his left hand twice. I wonder why that is. Maybe because you're not fucking throwing it correctly. With that being said, we're not picking Jourdain Santos. I don't know if the D is silent or not, by the way.
I'm not from Brazil, and they're not teaching me that on Rosetta Stone.
You know any Portuguese, bro?
Not yet.
I mean, I know a word, but I don't know exactly what it means, so I don't want to say it on here.
I'd probably refrain from using it on the channel.
Is Shama Portuguese?
I think Shama's a made-up word.
Fair. Anyways.
What does it mean? Shama.
Gem.
Okay.
Jama no gem. We're not picking Jourdain Santos. We're just not. Against Ozzy Diaz, he should have been put out multiple times. Ozzy Diaz sucks. Jourdain Santos doesn't move his head whatsoever. He'll come forward and throw combos, sure. I think this is a layup, right? This is the D-Wade lob to LeBron, and nobody's there. All you got to do is catch it and hammer that bitch home. I think if Danny Barlow is who he says he is, should easily put out Jourdain Santos because he is completely there to be hit. Jourdain Santos could lean on him, take him down, tire him out. Maybe. I think Danny's too fast. We'll have a lot of space. This should be a layup for Barlow unless he fumbles. Give us Barlow.
Yeah, you think it's a layup, and I don't disagree with you, and we are picking Barlow, but the other thing to keep in mind is the move up to 185. JP, I mean, Danny Barlow, we just saw got knocked out by Sam Patterson, who is, I mean, one 170 soaking wet. I mean, he is just skin and bones, like very, very frail, very thin. Jordan Santos has some thickness to him. And that's the one thing that I worry about is like he can take a punch. We saw that in the Ozzy Diaz fight. We don't know the power that Barlow's going to bring up to 185. Typically, it's the guys that are moving down that carry the power with them. Moving up, unless you're Ilya Taporia, doesn't really work in that same fashion. We will see. And I just worry about Santos's hands catching Barlow. And it's like, does Barlow have a chin? Does he have a chin problem? What's going on here? Because Sam Patterson, sure, he's been on a tear. He's a good fighter. You guys know I'm a fan of Sam. To get knocked out by Sam, and then you look at the body of Santos, you get a little bit concerned, but I do think Barlow should get it done.
Yeah, I think the lighter man skill here, like the lower you go in weight classes, like 35, most of the guys are pretty skillful, but the higher you go, some of these heavyweights have no fucking technique whatsoever. But yeah, I agree.
I guess the one thing in the Sam Patterson fight is like maybe he was worried of the takedown and the ground game of Sam Patterson. That's been apparent as of late too, but Santos doesn't really have that. I think he's got a little bit of wrestling. He has gone for takedowns in the past, like sometimes off of kicks and things of that nature, but he's not going to go out there and shoot 15 takedowns and make you respect that side of his game. He's going to go out there, throw hands with you. And if that's the case, I don't like his cardio. And he doesn't move his head, like you said. It's just a not a good recipe going up against a guy like Barlow.
Yeah, and he does that shit where he just runs forward, right? And he just unloads 3, 4, 5 of them. I think this is the perfect spot. Barlow, just tuck,
Slip and rip.
brother, tuck your fucking chin. I cannot stand it. These good strikers, and their chin's just way up in the air. I'm like, you're just asking to be smacked. You just keep your chin down, slip, back step, and then fire your left hand. And I think it perfectly hits home. This should be a layup.
1,000%. All right, moving up. We got Bruno, the Bulldog Silva, taking on Hyung Sung Park.
This one's interesting to me in seeing how everybody feels about this fight so far. It surprises me how much people like Bruno Silva. And this is not the Bruno Silva that Marc-Andre Barriault tried to murder a couple months ago. This is the bite-sized Bruno Silva. I don't see the hype in him. I really do not. He has entertaining fights, which I feel like is what this weight class is. There's a lot of high-skilled guys. But he gets clipped in almost all of his fights. Right? Let's go through it. Okay. The one, Victor Rodriguez, 4 years ago. Who? Next one, Tyson Nam, who's, I'm pretty sure, like 1-3 in the UFC or something. Cody Durden. He knocked Cody Durden out. Bro, he knocked out Cody. He was getting his ass beat in that fight. If you're watching it. Yes, he hit the bomb shot. Yes, I understand. He was still getting his ass beat. And then Manel Kopp, I understand Manel's elite, beat his ass. And then Joshua Van, when we locked Joshua Van that night, beat the shit out of him. So I understand the most recent 2 guys he fought are good, elite. Cody Durden, he was getting his ass beat and then he hit a home run shot. How many times is that going to happen? I don't think a lot. Hyun-Sung Park, 10-1. Who's the guy he lost to? Tatsuro Taira. Is he not elite? Oh, he got choked out by Taira. Okay. That kid's got one of the best back takes in the UFC. Is his striking good? He got dropped by him. Tatsuro Taira's going to challenge for the title. Like, that kid is top 3, top 5. He's disgusting. I think Bruno gets touched by everybody. Hyun-Sung Park has decent stand-up. It's tight, it's crisp, it's fast, and he can grapple. I don't see anything that Bruno does that threatens Park unless Park just sits there, doesn't move his head, and tries to get in a firefight. Other than that, I think Park literally wins everywhere. Very confident on Park. I think Bruno Silva is very overhyped. Oh, he's training with Henry Cejudo. Hammer Park, then, in my eyes. Give us Hyun Sung Park.
Yeah, I mean, it is an interesting matchup because anytime you're going or you're looking at a fight involving Bruno Silva, you have to be mindful of that one shot power that Silva does possess because he's shown that time and time again. He is a dangerous fighter. Even if he's losing the fight, he can put your lights out. And you brought up his last two opponents. They are elite. Like that is great experience for um Silva to be in there with a striker as skilled as Manil Kopp, as skilled as Joshua Van. Like if he's seeing what those guys are throwing at him, and he lasted, into the third round with both of them, is Park really going to have anything better, at least on the feet, that those two don't offer? I don't think so. I think that's probably a decent two fights to have as far as implementing a better striking plan, being in there with better strikers, and getting a feel for what that looks and feels like. Young Sung Park, though, I do believe is going to have a grappling advantage, and I think it's gonna suit him well to find a few takedowns in this fight. Maybe take the back of Silva, just wear Silva out because, granted, I think he's the better striker. But if you can wear out Silva, it really takes away that power, the one punch power that Silva does possess. Really is, which is the only thing that I could see changing the outcome of this fight is just a Silva overhand of some sort. But yeah, Hong Sung Park should be able to get it done.
I just, I don't know, man. And the Joshua Van fight, I mean, he did, which I guess that's the one thing that, you could say about Josh. Maybe he doesn't have the most power in the world. He's got phenomenal combinations, but maybe he just doesn't have good power. But if he shuts me up and shows me something, sure. But I'm very confident on Park. Will the hindsight make me look like a dumbass? Maybe. But so far, I don't think so. All right, next one. Charles Jourdain going up against Davy Grant, the 40-year-old who looks like he's going to fight till he's 45.
Yeah, this is a fight that I am excited about. Both these guys bring the action, they bring the pace. Davy Grant, 39 years old, but really, JP, he doesn't fight like it. He's been in some brawls lately. He's done really well, held his own. Coming off of a victory over Damon Blackshear, who I thought Damon was going to get it done over. I really thought he was going to be able to beat Davy Grant. I was wrong. Davy Grant kind of shut me up with that fight in particular, but Jourdain has looked great since he moved down to 135. That Victor Henry fight was very dominant, and he's had close to a year now at 135. I mean, training, that's got to be good. That's got to be a good thing. Moving down weight classes for him, I think, has just been the best thing he could have done for his career and for himself. And I really think he's going to show us why on Saturday. We're taking Charles Jourdain. Davy Grant's just too old for me. Sure, he's still got it, but Charles Jourdain, great striker, good wrestler, good grappler as well. We're taking Charles Jourdain in front of the Canadian crowd.
100%, man. Getting a win in his home country. We feel like Charles is one of the best well-rounded fighters that Davy has fought. And then, Brevin, interesting you bring up the Blackshear fight. Because Blackshear, before the Davy Grant fight, fought Alatong Haley. And I understand Haley can grapple a little bit. Damon just stood on the feet the entire fucking time. And I remember us breaking that down and saying on the recap, I hated it. There's no reason to sit there and strike with him. Just try and get your grappling off. Get your grappling off. Get your grappling off. No, I want to show my hands. I want to do. And then goes out there against Davy Grant. Grapples him in the first round. Oh, hey, that worked. What does Damon do? I'm going to show my hands again. And then it loses him the fight. I mean, that's crazy. That is crazy. You're going to kickbox and point fight a 40-year-old who is still pretty damn good at that. Right? That's what Davy does. He does kind of get touched by a lot of people. Like Brevin said, he gets into wars. But again, I just feel like he's the best well-rounded guy that Davy has fought in a while. Like Damon's stand-up is not there. That's why I do not like him striking. Charles is, and he can grapple. He's got a nasty little guillotine on him because everybody just loves to shoot their takedowns on the outside and get stuck in gillies nowadays. But yeah, give us Jourdain.
1,000%. All right, next fight on this card. Sorry, 1 second here. I'm all over the place. We got Kyle Nelson taking on the steamroller Matt Frevola.
Oh man. Watching film on Frevola is funny because I always go straight to the Zion fight, which we were split on that, right?
What fight?
Zion and Frevola. I'm pretty sure you
I
were on
had
Zion.
Zion.
Yeah.
Oh, I definitely was on Zion. Okay. You had
Um,
Frevola? You had the
I'm
steamroller?
pretty sure I did. I
Ah,
don't know. I might
man.
have had Zion. I don't remember, but
See, now it's much better that we're going to be picking the same for all these fights because splitting like that, it's not fun because it's like, all right, I win, but at what cost? JP's over there crying.
okay.
And now I can remember
Okay.
who we picked versus who we didn't pick.
Um, yeah. I mean, you guys know me. I'm just sobbing in my living room most Saturday afternoons.
Here's a question. Do you think that I could have got you to pick Alexander Volkov
Over Pav?
against yeah, Pavlovich back in the day?
Hard to say because I want to be like, oh yeah, absolutely. But I don't know if that's a hindsight bias, like in my head now, like seeing how that went and like, I mean,
I think about that sometimes. Now that we're picking the same, I'm like, that would have been probably the hardest debate slash argument we would have had to date.
to get me
I
on
just
that
had a
side.
feeling. I had, yeah, I was just so confident in it, but I knew you were so against it, and you just thought it was going to be a walk in the park for Pavlovich, and he just didn't fight well.
No, he didn't at all, and it went literally. I still think to this day that is probably the most accurate breakdown you've ever had.
I think it was too. I kind of just want to go back and clip it and just like post it every single week.
Every time
That's
Volkov
funny.
fights. um,
100%.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'd like to say yes, obviously sitting here, but who knows? I mean, the good thing is now that that happened and we're doing this, now we can kind of be like, is this a time where I should switch and shit like that? But anyways, Matt Frevola. I love watching Ray Longa sitting there coaching him, going, turn into him, turn into him. And as Matt turns and goes to change levels, boom! And he goes, oh shit. Puts him out, dude. Puts Matty, the steamroller. He's chinny. It is what it is. He's chinny. He's 4-4. Kyle Nelson, he's 4-4 with KOs in his career, is what I mean. Kyle Nelson, he's 6-3 with KOs. So you could say he's chinny as well, right? This fight is a very close fight. Obviously, the lines tell you that. Plus 105 for Nelson, minus 125 for the steamroller. Could go either way. Nelson in Canada. Some might say, close fight, goes to the scorecards. They'll give it to Nelson. Me and Brevin don't think it's going to the scorecards. We think it's ending inside the distance. Wouldn't be shocked if either one of these guys go out. Matt Frevola can wrestle. Kyle Nelson can grapple a little bit. We understand Steve Garcia is a beast, right? Brevin, just ask Brevin about it. Brevin's having dreams about Steve Garcia and that right hand, left hand, whatever it is. Kyle Nelson quit severely bad against Steve Garcia the moment he lost positioning. Matt can wrestle. He can scramble a little bit. For that reason, we are going to take the steamroller. Like I said, I don't like betting on the lines on this fight. I will bet inside the distance 1,000%.
Yeah, I think both these guys could find a finish in their own right, but to me, frat, the frat boy steamroller Matt Frevola, I think he's got the juice going into rounds 2 and 3, whereas I feel like Kyle Nelson's at that point in his career where if things go well early, great, but he kind of loses confidence as the fight goes on. He doesn't really have the heart that I'm looking for in a fight like this that I think is going to be grimy. It's going to be gritty. Who can find their takedowns? Who can out wrestle one another? Who can keep their cardio going? I don't think the answer is Kyle Nelson when you take a look at all of the factors there. I think it's Matt Frevola. And so for me, sure, maybe a little bit chinny, but I like the heart of Frevola. And like even if he is chinny, you have to put him to sleep to stop him. He can eat shots. He'll be cut open. He'll keep marching forward. Kyle Nelson showed me a little bit of quit in the Steve Garcia fight. I get Steve Garcia is a monster, but you can't just lay flat on your belly and give up, turn over, pull guard, fight back. I don't know. Give me Frevola. I'm just not gonna side with a guy that I feel like is quitting mid fight when you still have a way out and you choose the way out of having the ref step in and in the fight.
And it was ugly too. It was ugly. He let Steve quite literally mount him while Steve's like kind of standing up, squatting over him. Like,
Yeah.
bro,
Didn't work back to his knees.
yeah.
Nothing.
Like if anything, like you're saying, just turn over on your hands and knees or like your elbows and knees and then try and work from there or Granby roll or do something. Don't just sit there like a bitch and just take it and then roll over into your stomach and shit your pants. Because then if I pick you, like Brevin said, I'm crying in my living room Saturday. All right. I mean,
Yep.
ASU got beat like 40-10. So,
Yep. Jeff Sims, not the answer. All right,
dude's
moving
a
up.
bomb.
Cody Gibson, he's like in year 7 of college.
Yeah.
Cody Gibson taking on Aoriqileng.
We had a 30-year-old at QB, and he's horrible. Yeah, that's funny. I was talking to your brother about him too. He's like, "Yeah, I know that guy." I was like, "Is he good?" He's like, "No."
Yeah, no, because he used to play at Nebraska, and so Dylan was actually friends with him. They had been at the bars together a few times, and he has him on like Snapchat and all that. But the dude is like 30 years old now. He's in year 7 of college or whatever it is, and he's kind of buns, man.
Oh, we need Sam Levitt back right now.
ASAP. Yeah.
All right. Interesting fight. Cody Gibson. We're not gonna give you guys the spiel. I mean, Ultimate Fighter guy, all that, blah blah blah. We've said it a million times. He's a weirdo. He's a weirdo. He's decent, and then he gets finished because he's not top level, and then he's decent. You know, Cody Gibson is the Raiders of the UFC. Sometimes they win a fight, and you're like, didn't expect him to win that fight. Didn't expect them to win that game. And then they go out there and just get the shit kicked out of him. And you're like, yeah, he sucks. Yeah, he's not good. Right? Aoriqileng. How to break down Aoriqileng? He's gonna counter strike. That's it. That's literally it. He's gonna sit on the back foot, be defensively sound, very technical defensively, sure. And he's gonna look to counter strike you. Not gonna throw a ton of volume. Doesn't want to grapple. If he's down on the cards, he won't go all out for a finish. I don't like anything Aoriqileng does. And what Brevin told me when we were discussing this fight is in his most recent fight, he fought Rojas Jr., Chihuihuis. And Rojas, his striking is not great. It's progressing. It's looking better. His striking isn't great. Aoriqileng didn't outclass him on the feet, even counter-striking with him. And then the takedowns, granted, Rojas is a very good wrestler, were way too easy. Cody Gibson can grapple. Yes, he got submitted by Damon. That's because Damon Blackshear actually went into a fight using his strengths, and he won. That's kind of crazy. But yeah, Gibson can wrestle, and he can wrestle his way to a decision. That is what he's shown he can do to get a win. And we think that's what he does here. We think he sees that, takes the game plan, all the experience he's had, and wins on the scorecards by just Russell fucking Aoriqileng. Give us Cody Gibson.
Yeah, and the nice thing about Cody Gibson is he actually does what he's good at. Like he actually goes out there and wrestles. And like he's a wrestling coach in his spare time when he's not fighting. His game plan is press forward, look for the takedown, look to grapple, put a pace on these guys. And he does a nice job of that. You know, he has his moments where he's getting caught on the feet, or maybe he's facing a better overall grappler like a Damon Blackshear, but and a better wrestler like Miles Johns. But at the same time, you look at some of these, you know, matchups like the Brian Kelleher fight and the Chad and Helliger fight. Cody went out there and just wrestled phenomenally. You know, he was glued to him. He was a backpack, and then ultimately finds a win. Now he's facing a Aoriqileng who really doesn't have a ground game, doesn't have wrestling defense. I really think this is a great matchup for him. And JP, speaking of Cody Gibson, had me thinking of our boy, Brad Katona. I'm very, very, very surprised that Brad is not on this card. He's Canadian.
True. True. With that being
And this
said,
just,
thank God.
well, yeah, but this just feels like one of those cards that Brad Katona would make an appearance.
Yeah. And get
I
a
don't know.
decision
Kind of
win.
interesting. Kind of interesting. I feel bad for Brad. All right. That's like a slogan. Let's all feel bad for Brad. Um, anyways.
They don't know.
All right. Enough of that. Cody Gibson. Get it done.
Oh, here. I'll go. I'll lay you up for the women. Okay. A high
All
level
right.
women's MMA fight. This is what we like to see. Okay. The Canadian Jasmine Jasudavicious, who's on, it's like 5 or 6 now in a row on a tear, going up against the former title challenger Manon Fiorot.
The Beast. I love that nickname. Yeah, it should be a good matchup. JP and I were talking about before filming this fight in particular and how Jasmine's really never faced an opponent that can bring her size to the equation. Usually Jasmine's much bigger than her opponent. They're both big for this division. 5'7" at 125 is pretty large. Good reach on both of them. Manon, you'll see when they step inside the octagon, very, very built, very, very strong. If you get into the clinch with her, look for some throws and trips and knees and things out of the clinch. And then with Jasmine, you really got to watch out for her overall grappling. She's a great grappler. If the fight goes down to the ground, especially with Jasmine on top, could be dangerous for Manon. So she's really going to have to do a good job of being safe on the ground, but being very smart on the feet as well, because Jasmine will shoot takedowns. Now, the one thing about Manon is she did a really nice job defending takedowns early on against Shevchenko in her title bout. Ultimately, Shevchenko got the better of her, but for the most part, it's going to be very tough to take Manon down. And if that's the case, JP, I really feel like Manon's got the better striking. Jasmine has improved on the feet, don't get me wrong, but I don't think she's improved enough to be considered better than Manon at just pure striking on the feet. So to find success, Jasmine's going to have to get this fight down to the ground, land takedowns, maybe find a submission. I don't think Manon lets that happen, as she just went up a better against a better grappler, in my opinion. Uh, in Shevchenko, sure, Jasmine's good. I think she's got the tools and the ability to be good, but she's also aging as well, and I feel like her striking's finally starting to come around and kind of match some of these other girls. Not the best matchup for her. Give us Manon Fiorot to get it done and prove why she continues to deserve to be inside of the top 5 of this division.
Yeah, 100%. And we took Shevchenko to beat her because Shevchenko's extremely fast on the feet, which she showed that. And then Shevchenko can also grapple, right? So all the girls that Manon has fought going up to this can either grapple and can't strike, or the other way around. Shevchenko could do all of that, and she was faster. We like Jasmine. We think Jasmine's good. On this tear of hers, I'm pretty sure we've picked her in every single one of these fights. But like Brevin said, she's not used to fighting girls who are the same size as her, who can strike a little bit better than her and bring the same amount of physicality. So this is going to be a very tough fight. Could she do it? Yeah. I'd be very surprised if she went out there and put it on Manon and wrestle fucked her. If she got her out of there, I'd be shocked. But Manon can strike. She's very big. She can muscle for muscle with Jasmine. And yeah, I just think it comes down to both of them can grapple pretty well. Jasmine, obviously, that's her bread and butter. I think Manon makes it hard, and I think she's just got a little bit better striking.
Yeah, the other thing to keep in mind too is Manon's last 2 fights were both 5 rounders. So like from a cardio perspective, maybe she was saving a little bit in the Shevchenko fight, especially for some of the later rounds, which she didn't look completely gassed or completely drained. It was a tiring fight altogether, but she still had some left in the tank. I think we see a different level of or a different version and a higher level of Manon Fiorot when it's a 3-round bout. We've seen that in her past 3 rounds. She'll get girls out of there. She's very strong, very powerful, open up with the striking a little bit. given the fact that it's 3 rounds, and I think we find a very successful Manon Fiorot on Saturday. I like the 3 rounds for her, but the 5-round experience certainly helps.
I think so. And the championship experience. I mean, you fight Shevchenko, regardless of whether you win or lose. I think you come out of that fight with a lot of knowledge.
Yeah. 1000%. All right. Moving up the card. We've got Marlon Cheeto Vera taking on Ayman Zahabi.
A close fight here. Very close fight here. And this one's interesting, man. This one is interesting. I know Cheeto, I mean, everybody knows his MO. He's going to start slow, probably give up the first round. He likes to get reads. Doesn't always throw a bunch of volume until later in the fight. Some people say 3-round fights are very hard to pick Cheeto because of that reason, and then he's behind on the scorecards and this and that. And he's always looking for a finish. He is decent at getting that finish, right? He's head kicking people. He's timing knees. He can grapple a little bit too. He's never been finished himself in his career. And now I say that and you guys are like, or some people might be like, oh, well, it's MMA. No, a lot of guys haven't been finished before. I mean, if you watched the Sean O'Malley fight, you'd be fucking shocked that this dude's never been finished.
I cut out.
Yeah. And I'm going to shit my pants. Sweet Jesus. Anyways, like I was saying, this goddamn mic. Yeah, never been finished. Very tough to do. Now, when he does get your timing and when he does get your habits and stuff like that, he is a tough guy to fight. Ayman Zahabi on the other side. I'll be a little bit nicer than I was before when I said he's just trash. I don't think he's trash. He is decent. Me and Brevin will stand 10 toes on he lost to Jose Aldo. He did. Aldo was also a dweeb. Couldn't make weight. Changed the weight class to 145. He's still gassed out. But I think he lost. And again, depending on what ref you have, I think that fight gets stopped as well. Anyways, Zahabi, he can mix it up a tiny bit. Everybody obviously talks about his brother, Faraz Zahabi. He's the coach of GSP, one of the GOATs, this and that. GSP is in his corner. I understand that. I tell you guys I like high-quality gyms and stuff like that. So Ayman is decent. Ayman doesn't throw a lot of volume. He doesn't. And he's not one to necessarily press forward and put you on the back foot. I think this first round might be very slow. I think both guys are going to look to be very technical. I don't think either guy really has a advantage in grappling per se. But Cheeto is faster. They both don't throw a lot of volume. I do not see any finishing potential on the Ayman Zahabi side to finish Cheeto whatsoever. If anything, I think Cheeto could finish Ayman. Could this be a split decision? I think it's very likely. I might even bet on that itself. Split decision, finish. But we're going to take Cheeto, Vera, dog money for all those reasons I listed out. I mean, the volume doesn't have to be there when the other guys isn't there. And then I think he could still catch his timing, and he's faster. And Zahabi had trouble with Jose Aldo's speed. Not saying Cheeto and Jose Aldo are the same speed, but Cheeto will be faster. So give us Cheeto, Vera.
Yeah, I'm just looking through here, JP. He's on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fight win streak, JP, and he was the underdog in 5 of those 6 fights.
That's
Very,
crazy.
very interesting.
That's
And now
crazy.
he's the favorite. He's the favorite over Marlon Cheeto Vera, guys. I think this is the spot of the year thus far. I think getting Cheeto Vera at dog money is probably my spot of the year for 2025. I don't think Zahabi's deserving of it. Dude's lost. I get this was many years ago, but the dude lost to Ricardo Ramos, who we just saw fight on Saturday. Lost to Con Ofley, like standing rear naked choke, just not good.
The dumbest fighter
You
in the
know,
UFC.
yeah. And then he lost to Vince Morales, who also not good. 3-8 inside the UFC. Like those are the guy's losses. He doesn't have good losses. He throws very little volume. And the knock on Cheeto is that he's a slow starter. He makes reads in the first round. He usually gets himself down on the scorecards. I don't know if he will on Saturday, JP. I really don't know if he's going to lose the first round, given the fact that Zahabi also doesn't throw a lot of volume. He shells up, he throws jabs. Sure, we're in Canada, but like to sit here and try to convince me that Zahabi's somehow the favorite? Give me a break. We're rocking with Cheeto Vera. I think this is the spot of the year. I'm calling it now. Calling a shot. Someone clip it. Cheeto Vera getting it done.
Hey, I'm going to say this right now. So this is also on the record. Canada, you better not screw us with some Canadian screw job, okay? I said I think it goes to split decision. I think it could. I will be hedging. Split decision, Eamon Zahabi. Oh. I swear to God, bro, if we get robbed from this, I'm gonna. You thought I cried last weekend? Oh, I'm crying all over social media, buddy. All right, dog money, Cheeto Vera, like Brandon said, clip it. He's winning. Next one. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Interesting one here. And this one I feel like is just. This has got to be the channel's pick of the year in this fight right here. Kevin Holland returns, going up against channel legend. I don't even know what to call him, Brevin, at this point. Channel nemesis, if you will.
Channel nemesis.
Mike Malott.
Yes, Mike Malott. Good old Mike. I hope he's doing well. I hope he's living a great life. He's taking on Kevin Holland this weekend, and I think this is a very intriguing matchup. We have Kevin Holland, who's going to come into this fight as the underdog, number 13 ranked fighter inside the welterweight division, taking on Mike Malott, who has been on a little bit of a tear coming off the KO victory over Charles Radke, which was an impressive performance. Great counter-strike, little check left that put Radke's lights out. And Kevin Holland coming off of a not-so-great performance over Daniel Rodriguez, where he should have had him out of there multiple times inside of that fight. Daniel Rodriguez was fading fast, and Kevin Holland just didn't have the juice to get it done. He does have a win over Vicente Luque before that, and then Gunnar Nelson, which was a good fight for him, and those are his fights outside the Reinier de Ridder fight inside of 2025. He fights a lot, very active. He's fighting on Mike Malott. And Kevin Holland has been one of these guys that win one, lose one, win two, lose two, win one, lose one. And right now, if you take a look at it, this is definitely one that we think he can find success in. He's going to be the taller guy. He's going to be what I think is the more unpredictable striker. And I think he's a better grappler than Mike Malott. Kevin Holland's also been in some wars. And to be honest, JP, I think there's a lot of factors that play into this fight. And I think one of them is the fact that Kevin Holland, in my opinion, can get inside the head of Mike Malott. Now, we see a lot of these guys, Kevin Holland chirping, talking, it doesn't bother him. They know that's Kevin Holland. He's big mouth, blah, 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 blah. I think Mike Malott, honestly, might have some confidence issues at times. He's always been like this high um, ranked prospect. He's always kind of been pushed into the limelight, even at a young age. And I think some of that pressure gets to him. And we've seen that in some of his performances. And I think if they go out there Saturday and Kevin Holland lands something and starts chirping a little bit, you're going to see a very hesitant Mike Malott. You're going to see a Mike Malott that starts questioning himself inside the octagon. And anytime that happens, not so great things take place after that. I think Kevin Holland could really get to the head in the mind of Mike Malott and find success. We're taking Kevin Holland. He's more unpredictable. He can land big strikes. Mike Malott has shown to get hit in the past. Sure, he's a good striker in his own right, but doesn't really move his head all that well. And sometimes he takes the approach of, hey, I'm going to take one to land one. And if you're taking too many against Kevin Holland, we've seen him put some really, really good fighters down in his day, plus the grappling upside from Holland. Look for an anaconda or something, just wacky. He does those things. He's capable of those things. This is the best fighter that Mike Malott has ever faced, he's ever seen, and he's going to really have to put himself to the test against a guy that I believe is going to mentally impact this fight, not only just dominate it on the feet and on the ground as well. So give us Kevin Holland.
Yeah, man. And I mean, let's not sit here and sugarcoat this. I understand what it looks like picking Kevin Holland. Trust me, we get it. Okay? The D-Rod fight. I mean, Fumble City. Dude's 2025 Derrick Henry. Okay? I get it. I know what it looks like. Let's also not sit here. You guys can go look at Mike Malott's Tapology page. Go look at who he's fought. Let's not sit here and act like Kevin Holland is not the most dangerous person Mike Malott has ever fought. Who are you going to tell me? Mickey Gall? Huh? Come on. Trevin Giles? Charlie Radke? Sure, he could strike. Kevin Holland's, again, he has all the intangibles to be one of the best fighters ever in the world. He just doesn't ever put it together. Dude's worried about this. Dude's worried about that. Dude's got an ego. Dude's talking to Rampage about a 45-70. Kevin Holland does all this extra shit. Already got knocked out in sparring, and that he said it affected him in the D-Rod fight. Maybe, maybe not. Like I said earlier, everybody's got a story before their fight.
And who was it that knocked him out in sparring, though? That's what I want to know.
True. Because I would never spar with him again, you know, for a fight.
Yeah, but I'd really think twice about knocking out Kevin Holland. He just seems mentally unstable to the point that I would probably fear my life outside of the sparring session.
I mean, that 45-70 is coming for you, you know?
He knows what it is.
You know what it is. Like, everybody's got a story. Everybody's hurt. Everybody's this. Everybody's that. The Uris guy that fought earlier, or is going to fight earlier on this card, he had Lyme disease at one point. You know? Like, Jesus Christ. Jared Gordon got hit by a fucking car. You guys get the point. But, again, he's dangerous everywhere the fight goes. And Mike Malott can get hit. He fades into fights. Trust me, ask me how we know that. Give us Kevin Holland.
Yeah, enough said.
Oh, man.
January 20th, 2024.
I'm gonna put it up on the wall back here.
Almost ruined my engagement, man.
Sheesh. Hey, but it didn't. She's still around. That's why she's a keeper, huh?
Well, no. I just meant financially. I knew she wasn't going anywhere, but man, we might have had to push everything back another year because holy smokes, Mike Malott sucks. All right.
That's hilarious. I mean, it's not, but now it is.
All right, moving up to the main event of the evening. We have Reinier de Ridder taking on Brendan Allen.
Oh, man. Hey, good fight here. Good fight here. I know everybody's sad. I'm sad. All right, Fluffy getting
sad.
hurt. Brevin's sad. That was going to be a great fight. Brevin, who are you going to take?
Oh, you know, I didn't think about it that long because it wasn't long after the fight was announced that Fluffy got injured and the fight was called off. But I'll save that for when they reschedule. I think inevitably they'll reschedule that fight.
That's a damn good fight. That is a damn good fight. I still didn't have my mind made up. Like, even if the fight wasn't canceled, I don't think I would have made up my mind till today. Like, that was a very hard pick.
I agree, and I do think that this fight, JP, what we see on Saturday from these two would probably swing my decision one way or another on the Fluffy Hernandez versus Reinier de Ridder fight. Yeah, if RDR comes out here and absolutely mauls Brendan Allen, there's a good argument that he might do the same to Fluffy. But if Brendan Allen kind of holds his own, I mean, we know what Fluffy can do, especially in a 5-round bout. You know, he puts a pace on guys. So, yeah, I am sad. I think that's the moral of the story. I'm sad we don't get to see that because it already has me questioning they're not even fighting.
Yeah, I mean, that was perfect matchmaking right there by the UFC. This one's still decent. RDR, I mean, you guys know he's going to come out. Look, herky-jerky on the feet. Awkward as can be. Awkward as shit. And then he's going to sit there and put his arms up, and he's just going to walk towards you, step in, and throw that body knee. And he will do that all 5 rounds. Okay? Might look ugly. His chin might be way up in the fucking air, ripe to just clock. We told y'all Rob's going to have a chance. And I think that was me and Brevin. I think we're split on that one. I don't remember.
I was definitely on Rob.
And I was on De Ridder, and I even said, if anybody's going to clip him, it will be Rob. He did. Goddamn, that fight almost got stopped.
Fight was close to being stopped.
Extremely close, right? And then RDR recovers. Fight wasn't stopped. You get a decent referee. You get just... It's a dice roll with the referees, whether they stop it or not. Because the one that was ref in the Sean Woodson fight would have stopped it, right? And then RDR stands up, keeps coming at you. He will keep pressuring you. Throws that body knee, boom, hits Rob with it, and it hurts. That shit hurts. Okay? Might look herky-jerky. When it lands, boy, does it. Brendan Allen, I'm going to go out on record and say I do not like his striking. I don't think it's good. I don't know why everybody's saying he's got great boxing. Why? Because he outboxed Marvin Vettori? Marvin Vettori doesn't have great boxing either.
I will say that was the best his striking has looked in that fight.
I agree. And then I'm not even going to say that joke. That was funny. It's funny, but it's not. Yeah, I think his striking's okay. It's not horrendous. I think it's okay. And then he can grapple. He can take your back. He's decent at that. My only thing is late in fights, Brendan Allen gets tired. He slows down considerably. His shots and his wrestling to get to his grappling look fucking horrible. He's face planting, reaching up for ankles. He's done it in multiple fights. Do not like that. Do I think when both of them are fresh, who's the better grappler? I still think it's RDR. I think that step-in knee is a problem. I think Brendan Allen's going to be going backwards a lot in this fight. I think Reinier de Ridder is a freaking problem. And you have to bring offensive firepower that can get him off of you or give you a second to breathe, let alone deal with him on the ground. Because I think it's another situation like Charles Oliveira, whether you're in his guard or whatever. At any point, a scramble, a transition, anything can be very dangerous and fight ending. Give me RDR. Give us RDR. Will they reschedule the fluffy fight? I don't know. I think he gets a title shot pretty soon.
Yeah, I mean, he's been an absolute problem, JP. Once he stepped inside of the UFC, he's been an animal. Now, I will say, as far as strength of schedule, I don't want to say RDR has had it easy, but some of the guys that he's beaten and fought that have got him inside of the top 15 and to number 7 in the division now, you typically would fight earlier on in your rise up the division, like the Gerald Meerschaert. Good fight just because of the grappling and the things, but um, Gerald Meerschaert's not a contender. And then Kevin Holland, as we all know, is just kind of one of those stepping stone guys. And then you're facing the prodigy, the prospect in Bo Nickel.
No
Well,
Bickle.
where's Bo Nickel now? Bo Nickel's wrestling outside of the UFC. It's like,
Dude's running.
okay, that gets. And then you get a shot against Robert Whitaker, and you almost got finished. The fight's a split decision, was a good fight, great fight. And Robert Whitaker, great fighter, obviously former champ, but like that's your only true comp. And so that's what I worry about for him, at least from a if you're going to be a title contender standpoint. Like I think that's your truest competition. The rest of the guys, they're decent, but they're kind of middle of the pack inside of this division. Brendan Allen, he has fought some of the better fighters in the division. He does have the better, more well-rounded experience, I would say, as far as grapplers, wrestlers, strikers. He's kind of fought every which one of them, right? But I do think RDR is better than Brendan Allen. Um, and he's shown that like his striking has improved, I think, once he's gotten to the UFC as well. I think that was impressive because we saw an RDR outside of the UFC that really didn't look like he offered much from the striking department at all. And now we're talking about this step through knee to the body, and he's been throwing it effectively and he'll continue to throw it. And I think he's got to just be careful not to get absolutely clipped in this matchup. Um, because it can happen. He does leave his chin up in the air, and that's the one thing. Like I'm very high on RDR. I think he's very, very skilled, but we've got to work on that piece of it because one of these times it just may not be your lucky night, and you may just eat one you can't recover from that, or that puts you to sleep, or one that drops you maybe face first forward, where the ref does step in a little prematurely, and then all of a sudden you're losing some of these fights. You got to be a little bit careful, but great fighter. I'm excited to watch him fight again. And Brendan Allen on short notice as well. Not always the best coming in on short notice. I would have preferred the fluffy fight, but this is a good fight to cap the night. JP, decent card. Do you think it's good enough to get Drake there?
Nah, I don't think he
No,
cares.
I don't know if have we ever seen Drake at a UFC event in Canada or at
I
all?
don't think so. That's what I was trying to think of. I don't think so. He only goes to Raptors games to watch them lose.
That's fair. Well, that does it for the card. It doesn't do it for the show. Don't go anywhere. We got something new coming your way, guys. And I'm excited for it, and I think it was a long time coming. We got your free show parlays coming your way, but before we give them to you, I'll kind of explain what's being done. So as you guys know, if you've been a follower of the channel, JP and I no longer are split on our picks. We're not doing our own separate things. We've become one entity. We've combined our minds to give you guys the best picks every single week. What that also is going to now include is our lock prediction of the card. We call it a lock pick, but we've been giving you multiple locks. It's not plural, it's singular, it's a lock, which is why we're combining forces and we're going to give you our lock. So, JP, I'll let you give it to the people. Who is our lock of this card?
Oh boy. The inaugural. I don't even know what to call it. The inaugural combined lock.
Singular lock.
Singular lock. Singular entity lock of all locks. All right, and we're doing it because we always hit one, and then some dumb shit always happens.
I'm fine with giving two, but guys, I'm going to be very transparent. I'm sick and tired of my locks either getting hit by a car or having an opponent pop for steroids and pulling out of the fight. So I'm scrambling last second. JP's blowing up my phone. Hey, I'm about to post the video. I need you to submit a new lock. And then I'm picking a guy that's fighting a former champion, doesn't want to fight on that night. It's just frustrating, right? When I really wanted to side with Joel Alvarez, well, JP already locked him up. All right, so it's a little bit my decision. I think we should combine our forces, pick one lock for the card. We'll also give you other parlays. Don't worry. And then obviously, if you want something more juice and with better odds than just the singular lock, feel free to add something else to it, right? You're not just pigeonholed into just playing the money line on the lock. We're just giving you our lock pick of the card.
Facts. I mean, most of you guys probably do your own research too. And like that's the whole point. Combine everybody's research.
As you should.
Yeah, if you're blindly tailing and then you cry about when it's wrong, put the binky in. All right, knock it off. But yeah. And also, hey, all right, go to the links in the comments. Go to Instagram. When I bring out the lock video every Friday, talk about props, all of this and that, stuff to add to it. Okay, so there's more to it. But a lock is a lock for a reason. Brevin kind of nailed it. Short notice versus a full fight camp versus a guy who's been a problem. Both of them are decent at grappling. One's better at grappling. One of them is constantly on the front foot. We like him a lot. RDR. It's Reinier de Ridder. Right now, minus 198. I mean, Brendan Allen short notice. And RDR is a problem, man. He is a problem. We do not think Brendan Allen has what it takes on the feet to put him away. I mean, that's as simple as that. RDR is dangerous and a problem everywhere the fight goes.
And I think you're getting a hell of a line on him at this point, too.
I agree.
I mean, if the win over Robert Whittaker wasn't enough, like, what are we doing? Because this guy is a problem, and it just feels like one of those Merab situations where for the longest time, Merab was like either the underdog or really close odds, and now we've seen it to where he's always like a minus 300 favorite or something of the sort. I mean, RDR deserves some respect, and I think he'll prove it to you this weekend as to why that is. But yeah, locking RDR.
Brevin.
And then,
Question.
yes.
Thoughts on inside the distance?
I definitely could see it happening. Brendan Allen, I think, is one of those guys where if he did get hit with one of those knees, he'll go down. I mean, some of the takedowns, like you said, he'll kind of go face first into the canvas and reach out his arms, start reaching for legs. And I think Reinier de Ridder could lock up a Doris or something like that. I wouldn't mind inside 5 rounds for RDR to get it done. Brendan Allen, short notice, not a great situation for him. Yeah, I like inside the distance as well.
Yeah, the more I think about it, it's like, ooh, kind of nice.
Kind of nice indeed. All right, for Brevin's basic, put in the lock, give us RDR, and then we're adding a women's fighter that I think is going to find a lot of success. Give us Manon Fiorot. I mean, there's times I don't really know if she's full woman. All right, she's very, very strong. She's very, very strong. She is an animal. And then to finish out the basic, it's tough. The card's a little bit all over the place, but we are going to put in Charles Air Jourdain to get it done over Davy Grant. Charles Jourdain, Manon Fiorot, and RDR.
Interesting one. Interesting one. I like how you threw I like how we have kind of the same thought process when we build out our parlay. All right. As I was saying, because I just can't hit a juicer, can't hit a video without mic problems. I mean, Jesus Christ. 2 things are for certain in life. Anyways, we had the same thought process, building them out. I am also throwing Manon Fiorot in the juicer, okay? First leg. Sit down, shut up, let's do it. Manon Fiorot, first leg. Next one, Bekoev. He's fighting a kickboxer. Let's put the kickboxer on his back and see how he does. We don't think he fares well. Throw Bekoev in there. Hyun Sung Park. I think Bruno Silva's overrated. Okay, I think Park, well-rounded. I think he can get it done. Maybe by slumping him, but just throw the money line in there, okay? Next 2. One of them is definitely more sketchy than the other, but it's the juicer. We got to juice it up. Dog money, and they're both the same line right now, plus 105. Throw Cheeto Vera and throw Kevin Holland both in there. Yes, it's sketchy. It's a juicer for a reason. All right. And the final one, the lock, RDR. Had to do it. You're not surprised. I'm not surprised. Revin's not surprised. None of us will be surprised when he wins Saturday night in Vancouver. That is a juicer, 6 legs, plus 1,600.
Yo, I'm feeling good about that. I'm excited for this card. Ladies and gentlemen, if you made it this far, make sure to hit that subscribe button, like the video, share with a friend, leave a comment down below. It helps the boys out, helps the algorithm, and helps spread our channel out to those who are maybe finding the sport for the first time and want the best predictions, or maybe just want to learn a little bit more about each fighter. We really appreciate it. And head on over to TikTok. Follow me over there. We're rebuilding Locked Door MMA 3.0. You might have to search it because the first 2 get banned. Even I had a buddy the other day tell me, hey, man, it's really weird that you guys got banned because I see all these videos of these guys posting their cycle parlays and bets. And I'm pretty sure DraftKings has a TikTok. And I said, I know, dude. They want to pick on the fat guy because they want me out of the algorithm. They couldn't handle it. All right.
You can't use
really
that anymore. You can't use that anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I lost a lot of weight. I lost a lot of followers because the channel keeps getting banned. It is what it is. I mean, tit for tat, you win some, you lose some.
I mean, yeah, guys, go support Brevin over there on TikTok, okay? Your boy's out, but go support your other boy in Brev. Anything more for the people before we let them go?
I mean, the Chiefs won last night. Thank God.
Hey,
Thank God.
yeah, what a
finally looked decent.
little excess stuff afterwards, huh?
Yeah, what's Brian Branch doing, man? I mean, Juju, what did he do? Okay, he just does a little TikTok. All right, he just does a little dance.
Brian said,
What
your
problem you
TikTok."
got with Juju? Yeah, what do we got against Juju, man? He's a good guy, and we get Rashee Rice back next week. I know we're playing the Raiders, so you guys tune in for that because next episode, JP and I may not be friends. Who knows?
Hey, I need everybody to flame Brevin in the comments. All right, he told me stop wearing Raiders gear to do the recap. All right, and it hurt my feelings. Okay, I will never stop wearing Raiders gear, no matter how freaking bad we are. With that being said, if there's any Titans fans here, wow. Wow. I mean, I think I have it rough every Sunday. That's bad. That was bad. That was rough to watch. Yeah. Man, ASU. Yeah, ASU got beat. Montel Jackson, 8 inches of reach, doesn't want to strike. Whatever. Last weekend was last weekend. This weekend we're going to Canada. But hey, I think we're going nuts. Perfect card incoming. Juicer hit incoming. I mean, me and Brevin are going to make out like bandits again. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, another week, another set of fights. As always, it was a pleasure. Bingo, bango, baby. Peace.